planet of fire, a surface worth more than worlds, and a sky that rains something you've never seen before. Think about the most expensive thing you can hold in your hand, a flawless diamond. On Earth, we fight over them. We put them on rings and lock them in heavy steel vaults. But in the grand scheme of the universe, diamonds aren't actually that special. In fact, if you travel far enough, you'll find a place where our most precious gem is literally just the dirt under your boots. Today, we are traveling 41 light years away into the constellation of Cancer. We are visiting a super-Earth known as 55 Cancri E, the Diamond Planet. Now, remember the golden rule for this trip. You are completely indestructible. You can't be melted by heat, you can't be crushed by intense gravity. You're a cosmic ghost, just here to walk on a world worth more than the entire global economy. As we pull up to the system, you see the host star. It's a yellow-orange dwarf called Copernicus. It looks a lot like our sun, but as we drift closer to our target planet, you realize just how terrifyingly close it is to that fire. Our Earth is 93 million miles away from the sun. 55 Cancri E is just 1.5 million miles from its star, and because it is so close, the planet is literally bleeding. As we approach, you can see a massive glowing trail stretching out into the dark behind it. The heat from the star is so intense that the planet's heavy atmosphere is boiling off into the vacuum of space, giving this giant world a tail like a comet. Let's drop in. The first thing that hits you when you reach the surface isn't the heat, it's the weight. This planet is a super-Earth. It's twice the size of our world, but it packs 8 times the mass. The gravity here is absolutely brutal. If you weigh 150 pounds back home, you would feel like you weigh over 300 pounds down here. Every single step takes a massive, exhausting effort. You don't bounce, you drag. Look up at the sky. Because we are so unimaginably close to the star, it doesn't just look like a sun, it fills the sky. It is a blinding, raging wall of fire taking up almost your entire field of vision. The planet is whipping around it so fast that an entire year, one complete orbit, takes just 18 hours. And because it is so incredibly close, the planet is tidally locked. One side is constantly blasted by the star, and the other is frozen in eternal night. We just touched down on the day side. If you were expecting a sparkling, crystal-clear wonderland, I have some bad news. It is hell. The temperature right now is roughly 4,400 degrees Fahrenheit. The ground beneath you isn't solid. You are standing on a global, churning ocean of liquid magma. The atmosphere above you is so thick and heavy it would crush a military submarine, and it's mostly made of vaporized rock and metal. You're literally breathing in gaseous lava. But what about the diamonds? If you want to actually walk on a solid surface made of diamond, you have to go to the dark side of the planet, and we will head there in just a minute. But right here, on the blazing day side, the surface is completely melted. To find the diamonds here, we have to go deeper. Because of the unique chemistry of this star system, this planet has a massive abundance of carbon, far more than Earth. And what happens when you take billions of tons of carbon and squeeze it under the crushing gravity of a super-Earth? Let's sink and find out the answer to that question. We drop through the boiling lava ocean, sinking miles down into the crust. The pressure builds until it is absolutely mind-bending. In here, in the dark, the carbon is compressed into thick layers of graphite, and then, beneath that, into diamond. You are surrounded by a mantle of solid diamond thousands of miles thick. But it doesn't look like a jewelry store down here. There is no light to make it sparkle. There are no perfect cuts. It is just a massive, dark, hyper-compressed cage of crystal holding the planet together. It is an ocean of buried treasure, locked away under billions of tons of liquid fire. Let's push back up to the surface. We need to get out of the boiling day side. We push through the heavy glowing atmosphere. To reach the night side, we have to cross the Terminator line, the border between day and night. But on this world, it isn't just a shadow. It is a war zone. Because the day side is boiling hot and the night side is freezing, the temperature difference creates a pressure vacuum. The atmosphere is desperately trying to equalize. As we approach the twilight zone, the winds hit us. You are caught in a supersonic hurricane. Millions of tons of vaporized rock and hot gas are screaming past you, racing from the day side into the dark. The roar is deafening. You are flying through a hurricane of fire and glass, completely blind in the heavy, chaotic storm. And then, suddenly, the wind breaks. The heat falls away. We cross into the dark. It is pitch black. The temperature drops rapidly, but it is still insanely hot, hovering around 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But here, without the direct glare of the star, the magma ocean actually cools just enough to freeze. You drop down and your boots hit a solid crust. Listen to the sound as you walk. Crunch. Crunch. It sounds like you are walking on shattered pencil lead. You are stepping across a charred, jagged landscape made entirely of graphite and raw, unpolished diamond. It stretches out into the dark, completely silent under the heavy sky. You are officially standing on a surface worth more than you could ever possibly calculate. But suddenly, something pings against your visor. It's raining, but it's not water. Remember that supersonic wind that blew the vaporized rock over from the dayside? Once it hits the cold air of the night side, it cools down and condenses. But this atmosphere is rich in a specific compound called aluminum oxide. And on Earth, when aluminum oxide crystallizes, it creates something very specific: rubies and sapphires. It is raining liquid gems. Droplets of molten ruby and sapphire are falling from the pitch-black sky. They splatter against the dark diamond crust, glowing faintly with a dull red heat in the dark before cooling into solid stone. Just take that in. You are standing in the absolute dark, feeling the crushing weight of a super Earth, getting rained on by liquid rubies on a world made of diamond. It is a violently beautiful, completely alien experience. It's time to leave. We push off the graphite crust, breaking through the storm of falling gems, and float back into the quiet vacuum of space. You look down at the scorching, toxic, unimaginably wealthy hellscape, with its glowing comet tail fading into the void. It really makes you think about value, doesn't it? We put so much worth on shiny rocks. We assign them power, beauty, and status. We base entire economies around them. But out here, a diamond is just a common stone. Rubies are just rain. They are just basic building blocks in a chaotic, violent universe. It turns out the rarest, most precious thing in the cosmos isn't a gem at all. It's a quiet, blue planet with liquid water, breathable air, and the warmth of a gentle sun. If you enjoyed this journey and got some info from it, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to CosmicGazeYT, and turn on the notification bell. We've got a whole universe of space, time, and history left to explore, and I'd love for you to join me on the next adventure. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.